Hello, hello, and welcome to our incredible Unleashing the Power of Women Voices by Women Thrive. I'm so excited to be here with my co host, Abigail Rebecca Fu. Hi, Rebecca, Abby.
Hi, this is going to be a great event. We've got some amazing speakers lined up.
Yes, we certainly have. So, welcome to today's Speaker Showcase and the Power of Unleashing the Power of Women's Voices event. Today, we have some amazing talks lined up for you, and I hope that you get to enjoy what we have lined up. We've got some amazing speakers that we want to announce to the stage. If you have been following the Women Thrive Summit and our event, you would know that you can expect to have a lot of inspiration, motivation, meet some amazing women in this event. And what I want you to do is make sure, if you're watching this right now, to share it to your social media, leave a comment, let me know where you're joining from so we can say hello to you, right? It's all about networking and the power of women coming together. Now, as some of you may know, I am just back from maternity leave, and this is my first event back. Abby, thank you so much for holding the front while I was away.
You're welcome. It was such a pleasure, and it's so amazing to have you back, Ray, with your incredible energy and bringing, this incredible event together. It was an absolute pleasure to hold the fort while you were away.
Well, I was certainly watching last time, nursing my little baby. I was like, oh, I get to actually watch behind the scenes and experience what our attendees experience on the other end.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant. Well, we are going to be introducing our speakers very shortly. But before we begin, I want to introduce you a little bit into what Women Thrive and what our events really represents. Now, this year, we have been truly blessed with nearly, more than 1,000 applicants who have applied to the Women Thrive Summit. And Women Thrive Summit has begun as a result of adversity. So in 2019, we were expanding our events. We started our events in 2017 in London, and my vision was to bring together the power of women to create events where we can network and support each other, we can share our experiences and really experience that magic. And after the first event, I knew that this was something that was going to be truly serving for so many people. So in 2020, we were meant to be having our global expansion headed to United States, across Europe, as well as Canada. And of course, we all know what happened. The pandemic hit. And during this time, when the pandemic hit, I was truly heartbroken to not be able to continue hosting our live events, which was the backbone of our community. At the time, we had more than 100,000 followers already, and it was the really well anticipated event that we were building. So during the most difficult time of going through the pandemic, we put a call out actually for speakers. And what happened, there was more than 300 people who reached out and said they wanted to be on our stage. So what happens is when we go through adversity, we have two choices. We either sit down and get drawn into what ifs, buts, and excuses and feeling uncertain. And I knew that at that time, everyone felt uncertain. But there was one certainty for me in mind, that without action, nothing is going to change. And even though we didn't know what was around the corner, we had to take action. And what happened was, when the power of women coming together really started to take shape, we managed to turn around a live event to a virtual event in less than 4 weeks, interviewing nearly 100 speakers for our event. And we managed to put an incredible event during the most difficult time. Ever since, we have been running Women Thrive Summit on an annual basis to highlight the Women's History Month and Women's International Day in March. And leading up to this event, now every month we have this incredible event, Unleashing the Power of Women Voices, where we highlight and spotlight women from our community, from our speakers lineup, and you get to hear their inspiration, snippet of their stories. Because what I know for sure, that tonight and every event that you attend to, you will resonate with somebody's story, because some of these women have been through some of the most difficult things in their lives, and they're here to share their testimony. And I know through this process of sharing our stories, actually, there is a lot of transformation that happens from within. Anything from healing to supporting others. And rest assured, it's not easy to be vulnerable and open up about our story. So I hope you stick around, and I hope you share this stream right now to your audience, because these women are here to inspire you, empower, and we are all about empowering women to share their stories. And at Women Thrive, we have created a stage where every voice matters. Now, I'm so excited to have Abby as my co-host today, because she is also all about women empowerment. So, Abby, tell us a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself. And I'm not doing a great job about introducing myself.
I think you are. I think you are. And yeah, so hi, everyone. For those of you who watched our showcase last month, you would have seen me hosting while Raimonda is away in her little baby bubble, but she is back. And my name is Abigail Rebecca. I am a human design visibility coach. So I work with women all around the world, entrepreneurial women all around the world, and I help them to be more visible and confidently expressed so that they can grow their conscious, thriving business empires. And I'm also very proud of the fact that I'm also part of the Women Thrive team. And it's interesting because whenever I have a conversation either with Raimonda or maybe one of our speakers, I'm always asked the question, why is it that you feel so aligned to the Women Thrive mission? And I'm like, well, we share the same values. And, Women Thrive is all about empowering the voices of women empowering one another, supporting one another. I truly believe that as women, when we come together in the room, we're very, very powerful. We can make things happen. We can get things done. And actually, when we share from a place of vulnerability and we ask for help and we make that connection, we can really drive things through and drive things forward. An incredible, using my terminology, really magical things can happen, I believe, when women come together in the same room. And one of the things that we're so passionate about with Women Thrive and also with our speakers is that, we all share the same values. We're value driven. This is a vision. This is a mission. And I think that, whenever you go, or I know that whenever you go over to our YouTube channel and onto our social media and on our websites, you'll see we have the most incredible testimonials from our speakers and from the women in our community, just talking about how being part of this movement has really made not just an impact in their lives, but also in the impact in others, the lives of their clients and their mission and their vision in the world. And Raimonda, I think that we would love to share one of the testimonials from one of our past speakers. Her name is Paige Frizone. Paige has already been a speaker on one of our summits. She's now stepped into our Inner Circle Mastermind. So we find this with a lot of our former speakers. Actually, they stay with us. They become part of this wonderful community and this wonderful family. So please let me introduce you to Paige, and you can hear about her story and what it was like to be a speaker.
I am a subconscious health practitioner, as well as a professional writer and poet, and an empowered speaker. I help people process emotional patterns that are stuck and living in the subconscious mind, and help them upgrade them so that they can live a life of optimal wellness and sustainable freedom. So it's really my mission to help educate and also help others heal themselves in a sustainable way about the subconscious and all the parts of them that are holding them back from living their truth. I decided to apply for Women Thrive Summit. I was so clear that this was something that I wanted. So I am so grateful that I found this process. Raimonda is incredible, and I love working with her. Her facilitation is really unique, and her presence, first and foremost, it's so inviting. The application itself was so thorough. Every question, every inquiry was very gentle, and it was very emotional as well. It was like a holistic lens, a holistic view of the person instead of just your credentials. I really appreciated that she offered openings for first-time speakers. The whole experience actually provided me a handful of clients, which I was not expecting. That's completely icing on the cake. This is not a process that occurs without fear and without growing edges. And so I say, bring it to the table, bring it in, because Ramona is the right person to host and facilitate. This is a unique community in that there's never been more supportive women to hold you and witness you every step of the way. You have group accountability partners, you have one-on-one connections, you have so much network building as you go. You have Ramona as your #1 personal cheerleader forever after this experience. And there's no expectation to show up without fear. Like, that's part of it. And to be able to be in a space that's safe enough to transmute that a little bit and actually use it effectively. And I think a lot of people come in hesitant because of their past experiences, speaking with other demographics or other environments that couldn't hold those emotional parts. They expect you to show up, deliver the goods, and not have any connection with the community that you might be presenting with, or any facilitation of how to actually do your craft. And so the honing, the nuance of this process is just invaluable. It's worth the price of admission and more. I would like to give the utmost kudos to the entire Women Thrive team. There's so much invaluable advice and guidance that you receive along the way. The mentorship is unmatched. And so this is not a relationship that ends when the summit ends. It is the gift that keeps on giving, is really all I can say. I have relationships forever now, both personal and professional. And I'm just so excited for what the future holds.
Ray, what do you feel looking at that?
I was nearly crying. Well, first of all, Paige is amazing, and her own transformation on this particular journey was amazing. Watching her from being afraid to do the first showcase like we're having today, to coming on to the second showcase and just blowing us away, and just being my highlight personally on the summit itself this year, and something that she said about being afraid and doing anyway. And I can assure you, speaking is not an easy thing, and putting ourselves up on stage, probably one of the biggest fears of people. And when people come into this space in terms of being a speaker or even attendee, we try to push the boundaries, push you to the edges of the comfort zone. So you get to grow, because that's where the biggest transformation happens. So that was certainly Paige. And what I'm really proud of from her, that she was willing to take the advice and willing to go there. And the transformation, the results was amazing. And she made a huge impact with people on our summit this year.
Wonderful. Well, we have some amazing speakers that are ready in our green room, ready to speak. So we want to hear from you. Put a 1 in the comments if you are ready for our first speaker. We want to see the ones. We want to know that you are ready to be inspired, that you're ready to hear the stories, and you are ready to go. Okay, so our first incredible speaker is Kristen Elizabeth. Kristen Elizabeth is a seasoned trainer, nutritionist, and speaker. She's the Chief Executive Officer at Queens of Iron, an online brand dedicated to helping busy women up-level their life, impact, and body confidence. Welcome, Kristen.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so grateful to be here. Love that testimonial. And I love that Ray said, you know, you guys really push past the comfort zone. I'm like, you sure do. And it's amazing. We're so grateful.
Kristen, there are so many ones coming up in the comments. Everyone is ready to hear you speak. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Hi, ladies. So like Abby said, my name is Kristen. I'm a seasoned trainer and nutritionist for Queens of Iron. And we really help women achieve this like total body confidence, right? We specialize in shaping women's bodies and really teaching the healthy and sustainable approach to nutrition. So for someone who's been an athlete my whole life, I never knew how to eat for my body. Never. I didn't like what I saw in the mirror. When I put my clothes on, it was frustrating. It was so frustrating and defeating, and I just didn't like it. I felt amazing on the inside, right? Always been powerful, always been driven, always been a type A, but the outside didn't reflect that. And so it was like, I just don't know how to change this. I just have no idea how to change this. So after a pregnancy that saw me gain 50 pounds, I totally lost my identity. I said, I don't even know what I'm looking at on the outside anymore. There's so much good happening on the inside, but I don't like what I'm seeing on the outside. And so I knew it was time to reinvent myself. So the hard work I'm putting in all over life, in career, in family, in every area would actually show on the outside. The A player that I am, that I know you ladies are, we want that to show on the outside, right? And so through tracking macros and lifting weights, and if no one's heard of macros, it's literally just learning how to eat whole foods to thrive, right? Learning how to fuel your body to be able to have maximum amount of energy throughout your day, to fuel your body to be able to accomplish in your career, in your business, and still have emotional, mental, and physical energy for your significant other, for your family, so you can show up how you're really wanting to show up. So through this transformative journey of learning how to master my nutrition, of learning how to lift weights in a way that really did give me that fit, fierce, and feminine shape that I knew was within me, but I sure didn't see it on the outside. After being able to achieve that, truly, I unearthed a level of confidence I did not know was possible. There was so much inner power coming out that it was like, whoa, I kind of feel unstoppable for a minute. It was a wellspring of self-worth that allowed me to drive deeper and farther with my career, with my businesses, in my relationships. Because when you're not feeling very confident in your skin, everything suffers. Not only the emotional energy of, oh, what am I supposed to eat today? Oh, I'm so exhausted. Oh, my pants are hugging my stomach in a way I really don't like. All that energy is just lifted. So you have more peace of mind. So you have more mental clarity, just having that lifted, let alone having the right nutrition for your body allows you to live a much higher quality of life, but it allows you to show up productivity-wise, energy-wise, strength-wise, so much higher and so much better. So you can operate from the level of potential that is within you, but you maybe not have been able to tap into that just quite yet. So truly, I'm so passionate about what I do. I've been doing this for 13 years and I will never in a million years stop, because every woman needs this and every woman deserves to feel amazing in her skin so she can show up at that deeper level of authenticity. So I'm so passionate about this because when you dial in your nutrition for you in a way that you can still enjoy your social life, you can still go out to eat, you can still live a normal life, but it's dialed in to increase your inner energy, your internal energy, physical, mental, emotional, right? It allows you to increase vitality. It allows you to do more in less amount of time. So you feel way more productive, but you have the time to rest and relax and have that peace of mind knowing, oh, I'm good. I've accomplished all the things and I still have my me time. I still have my hubby time. Like, that's such an important thing. An entirely new world is opened up. You may feel confident in your body. You may feel really confident in yourself. That's amazing. You want to take it a step further? That is what we love to do, is help women take it just a step further. When you're living in this reality, it is one of the highest versions of yourself that you could possibly live in. It's like putting your own oxygen mask on first. Right? The self-care must be dialed in to excel and thrive in all these other areas. And so that's really at Queens of Iron what we do, is we help you dial in your nutrition in a way that's realistic for you. And we help you totally just craft this physique that you love, that you feel fierce in, that you feel powerful and feminine, so you can show up as exactly you, not have to worry about any discomfort, just feel amazing so you can continue to thrive even further in your career and in your home life and all the other hats that us business women wear, right, on a daily basis. So if you are one who is a total A player, you are self-led, you're achieving great things, but you want to go into that untapped potential. You want to see what's possible for you so you can put your clothes on and be like, bam, I look amazing in everything I wear. Not in a vain way, not in a prideful way, but when you're able to step into a room with inner humility and character, but feel so secure in yourself, how you look, how you feel, the vibes, the energies that's coming off, you're unstoppable. And Women Thrive Summit is a group of women who are unstoppable, right? Who are changing the world through presence, through gifts, through voices. We must have our nutrition, our physique, and our lifting dialed in to take that to the highest level possible. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, we'd love to connect with you on Facebook. We have a Facebook group, as you can see below my name, called Macro Tracking and Weightlifting for Women. It's an and sign, so make sure you put an and sign in there. We'd love to have you join. We do so much education, totally free in that Facebook group, loads of resources. And I'd also love to connect with you. So if you want to chat more, share your story about where you are on your health and fitness journey. I'd love to just talk you through that, see how we can support you, and just give you loads of great steps to keep up leveling, to keep up leveling, to keep up leveling. So I'm going to drop in the comments some links to those groups. We'd love to connect with you. And thank you so much for being here and listening. And I hope you just have an amazing day. Thank you, Abby.
Kristen, thank you so much for sharing your incredible energy and your expertise, and for going first. I want to honor you for going first. So thank you so much for sharing with us. Okay, everyone. So we've just heard from Kristen. Are we ready for our next speaker? I hope you are. We are shifting gears now, and we are going over to Laura Bedeau, who is a global speaker, an unconscious mind expert and podcast producer who empowers female leaders to optimize their business with strategy to reach six figures and achieve peak performance with divine feminine flow. Laura, welcome.
Hello, ladies. So I want to take you on a mini journey with me together. And I promise that if you give this your full attention for the next 5 minutes, that you will leave with the confidence and the empowerment of Beyonce on her Renaissance tour. Are you with me? Can I get a hell freaking yes in the comments? Because I want to make this interactive. I want to keep this really short and really sweet, but I really want you to be with me right here in this present moment so that we can go on this journey together. Who is ready to feel energized, to feel confident to speak on stages, to sell with confidence? Who is ready to drop the hustle and grind? Because you don't need it. And if this is the first time that you're hearing me on a stage or hearing my story, my name is Laura Bedeau, and I am a podcast producer. I am a business mentor. I am a TEDx speaker, and I am a mum of 2 beautiful children and a wife. And I help soulful business owners to own their fierce authority, to stand out whilst harnessing the power of their hormones. And live an abundant lifestyle, to become unapologetic. Because many of us dim down our light and make ourselves small. No more. Let me know in the comments if you're ready for that, ladies. Now, I am here for the female leaders that are ready to smash through their next glass ceiling. And I have been told that I am the queen of polarity. And I'm about teaching people how you can have this and that without the guilt. You know, that mum guilt, feeling like you have to be all of the things to all of the people and feeling you're like you need to choose. I'm done with that. We've been living in a world designed for men for long enough. Now it is our time to tip those scales. It's our time to reclaim what is rightfully ours and tip those scales back for that divine feminine flow. Now I'm here to teach you how you're going to tear up the rule book and stop dimming down your light. Now, the reason that I'm so passionate about this, and the reason why I feel like I needed to unleash my voice around this, is because I spent 15 years in the boys' club, in corporate, trying to blend in, hustling, comparing, competing, and it was freaking exhausting. Molding myself, dimming down my light, watering down my beliefs, and trying to prove something. My breaking point was when I sadly had an ectopic pregnancy, which makes me so sad when I think about it, in such a traumatic way. And it nearly took my life. And I remember going back to work and one of my female peers sitting me down after 2 weeks, still grieving, and asking me why my KPIs were down. And I remember thinking, why? Why do you care more about a sale than my life? And I remember feeling so disappointed. And I shortly left after that. It's no wonder, is it? But now I'm glad to tell you that I am breaking down the barriers. So this doesn't happen to women. They don't have to go back to work after miscarriages or baby loss, feeling like they have to hide it, like it's something to be ashamed of, something as simple as our bodily function, a menstrual cycle. We can use it to our advantage. We can, together, by starting these conversations that I want to bring you on in my talk in the Thrive Summit. I'm going to teach you how you can use it as your power and never speak badly about your womb ever again. To love her, to love yourself. And I just want you to just take a moment with me, just to close your eyes and just take a breath. Maybe it's the first breath you've taken all freaking day, because we love to do all of the things, don't we? And just tune into that womb of yours, the energy there, the creator, and say thank you. I love you. I am enough. And I take back my power, and I will never put myself into those boxes ever again. I've told you that was my promise. Thank you so much for having me.
Laura, I'm celebrating you. You're so powerful to have stepped into your power and started your own business, started your own movement, and you're here to share your testimony. I'm nearly crying because as you know, I just came back from maternity leave as well. And to have that freedom to build the businesses in a way that empowers us, this is the reason why I chose entrepreneurship, to be able to go on this journey and be empowered to make our own choices. And I believe that we women have to create our own economy. So thank you so much for sharing that in such a vulnerable and beautiful way.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. These are the wonderful stories that we get to hear from our speakers. They are personal, they are touching, and they are transformative as well, because this is the safe space for us to share our stories and to let everybody else know that it's okay. You know, you go through life and you will experience some tough things, but here's the thing, we can rise together. When one woman rise, I believe that she helps all the other women rise as well. So today you'll be hearing from more amazing speakers. Next up, we have Dr. Shola Butler. She's the founder and CEO and psychotherapist at Butterfly Counseling Services. She's also the founder and CEO of Certified Professional Life Coaching, empowering women from burnout to balance by using realistic self-care toolkits that fit their busy schedule. Dr. Shola, I'm excited to see you here today.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to share my story, and I've really loved listening to the previous speakers share their story as well. So my name is Dr. Shola Butler. I am a certified professional life coach and a licensed clinical social worker. And I just want to take this opportunity to share my story with you all. As a licensed clinical therapist, I'm very passionate about mental health and challenging the stigma associated with receiving mental health services, and to make sure that mental health services are accessible and affordable for those who need it. Because struggling with mental health from time to time is part of the human experience. And I became very passionate about it because as a Nigerian American, I was very aware in my own culture, the ways in which mental health is portrayed, and people feeling embarrassed or ashamed to share that they're struggling with mental health issues. And I decided to establish my group practice in 2019 when my cousin died by suicide. And I realized that he was hurting and he was in a lot of pain and did not feel like he could reach out, maybe because of the stigma associated with receiving mental health services. So in my work as a therapist, I began to notice a very common theme. A lot of the women that I was working with were struggling with burnout. They had a lot on their plate. They said that they were very, very stressed out. They felt that they were on the path to burnout and did not know what to do about it. So I decided to become a certified professional life coach and to focus specifically on empowering women from burnout to balance by using realistic self-care toolkits that fit their busy schedule. I was aware of the fact that some of the stress management programs or burnout prevention programs out there were not designed specifically for the needs of women. And what I mean by that is when we look at our society, we need to talk about the way in which women have been socialized. What is the culture? What is the message? What are the gender roles? Which results in these thought patterns that women acquire that could lead them on the path to burnout. So some of those thought patterns are, I feel guilty if I take care of myself. I feel guilty if I set boundaries. I have to put everybody else before myself. These were the thought patterns I was hearing over and over again in working with a lot of the women in my practice. So as part of my program, the way that I empower women is for us to challenge a lot of these thought patterns that we have internalized, to challenge this idea that we cannot take care of ourselves or we cannot set healthy boundaries with others. So I work with my clients on what I call dialectical thinking. So dialectical thinking is balancing our thought process. Two things can be true. Because a lot of the thought patterns I was coming across is what we call all or nothing thinking, or what they call black or white thinking. So I teach my clients dialectical thinking. Two things can be true. I can care for my children and care for myself. I can take care of others and take care of myself as well. And helping my clients understand what is your balance. Because balance is so important to minimize stress and prevent burnout. Now, the other thing that clients would share with me is that I don't have time for self-care. I am a mother, I am working 2 jobs, I'm a single parent, I just don't have the time. Because when people think about self-care, they think about, oh, I have to have an hour in the gym, I have to go walking for 45 minutes. So I teach my clients self-care techniques can be as little as 5 to 10 minutes. If you have 5 minutes in your schedule, I can teach you techniques to give you a nervous system reset. Because the whole idea is that we don't want to break down before we start taking care of ourselves. We want to take care of ourselves every single day to minimize stress and prevent burnout. Now, one of my favorites is soothing with the senses. So we have our senses with us every single day. How can I use my senses to soothe myself when I'm feeling overwhelmed. Now, if you could see in my background, I have my jellyfish. So I soothe with sight. So if I feel like it's been a long day, I'm really exhausted, sometimes I just turn around, I look at the jellyfish, and the movement can be very soothing to me. So I teach my clients 5 to 10 minute techniques. Let's put that in your schedule so you can minimize stress and not be on the path to burnout. Another important component of my program is emotional health, which I felt was missing from the other programs. We need to take care of our emotional health. If we don't, we could potentially burn out. Now, what is emotional health? Emotional health is checking in with yourself, asking yourself, how do I feel? Identifying your emotions, naming your emotions, and then letting them go in a healthy way. If we look at the word emotions, we see the E is next to motion. So emotions are going to move. If we stay on top of our emotions, we can move them in a healthy way. So I teach my clients every single day, check in with yourself. How am I feeling today? What triggered this emotion? How do I release the emotion in a healthy way? Now, here's an example I often share. One morning I woke up and I realized that I wasn't feeling very energetic. I felt very sluggish. I felt very tired. So I asked myself, Sola, what's going on with you today? And I named the emotion. I was feeling sad. So now I had to understand, why was I feeling sad? And I realized that it was because I was grieving. I had lost one of my best friends to COVID, and I was sad. And the best analogy I can think about grief is, a woman described grief as glitter. Like, no matter how much you clean up, there's always little specks that pop up from time to time. So I realized that grief had come to visit me that morning because it was a special day. And my friend would always be the first one to text me, happy birthday, happy Mother's Day, happy Independence Day for Nigeria. And this morning there was no text. So I realized I was sad because I was grieving. So to release the emotion in a healthy way, instead of keeping the emotion buried, what I did was I spoke to my friend. I let her know, I miss you. You know, I hope you're doing well on the other side. We will maintain your legacy on this side. And that was a healthy way for me to release the sadness that I was feeling instead of burying the emotion. So emotional health is very, very important component of preventing burnout and minimizing stress. Now, if you would like to know more about my program on how I empower women, I want to invite you to join the Facebook group. So the Facebook group is right there. I wasn't able to spell out the whole title, but it is Burnout to Balance, Women's Community for Self-Care and Wellness. We love this group, and it'll give you a great chance to learn all the different techniques to prevent burnout and be the person that you want to be. Thank you so much for listening to me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Dr. Shola, for sharing your wisdom. I really love the practical steps that you shared with us, and we are really looking forward to listening to your talk. I'm sure that, you know, there'll be a lot of inspiration and appreciation in the chat for everything that you've shared. Thank you for coming and spending some time with us today.
Thank you.
Okay, so sorry, we didn't mean to to cut you off there. I think the button went down a little bit too quickly. So, introducing our next incredible speaker, I would love to introduce you to Nada Leon. Nada is committed to helping people remember their inner, powerful, and cosmic selves. In 2018, after 21 years of spiritual experience, she founded the Ascension Academy, New Earth Masters, and the Divine Union Academy, helping women rise into their priestess energy and master their relationships. Welcome, Nada.
Thank you so much, Abigail. I'm so excited to be here. Hello, ladies watching. Hello, goddesses. Hello, priestesses. Hello, divine creatures called female. How are you doing today? Shake your body. Let me know in the comments how you're doing today. Let me know if you're good. Let me know if you're great. Let me know if you're not good. Let me know if you're not great. Let's get some, like, speak to me. I'm here on the screen. I want to feel like we're all connected. Hey, I'm seeing your comments. Wonderful, wonderful. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Tanya. Hi, Kylie. I am so excited to be here with you today. I have been a feminine and relationship coach for over 15 years. I've helped hundreds, if not thousands, of women rise into their full queen essence and master the art of conscious relationships. But it didn't really start with that. In June 2013, it was my son's birthday. And it was a shark theme. It was like a Sea World theme. And all the kids, he was like 5, all the kids were wearing like mermaids and shark costumes, and they were having such a good time. And, there was this guy making animals out of balloons, and there were clowns walking around, and everyone was taking photos, and everyone was having such a good time. And I was there with a big smile on my face, taking photos with my son, blowing out the candles. But inside me was a whole different story. Inside me was a whole different dynamic. I was broken and I was shattered into pieces because the relationship that I was in at the time was coming to an end. And I did not know how I was going to get out of it, how I was going to heal, how I was going to recover. And I sat in that birthday party pretending that everything was fine until I went home and, locked myself in the bathroom and cried it out like most of us women do. And I made a decision. And that decision that I made was no more. I am no longer going to ever be in a relationship where whenever I'm emotional, my man thinks that I'm too much. And for those of you have definitely received that from a man before, like, you're too much or you're too emotional, let me know in the comments if you resonate and you relate. So I told myself no more. Like, I am no longer going to be in a relationship where I am going to be too much, or that I have to kind of sacrifice myself or my own happiness so the man would stay, or that I have to. You don't look a day over 20. Thank you. I'm actually 41. and I never wanted to be in a position where I had to lose myself in order to keep a dysfunctional relationship just because I was so desperate for someone to love me. And I know that we've all been there. So I made a decision, no more. And from that day, I took drastic steps and drastic measures to transform my reality. And what I did was 3 main things. The first thing is I really rose in my standards. I really rose in my self-worth and my self-value. And I tell you, sisters watching, you are amazing. Like, you are incredible. You are majestic and magnificent in every single way possible. And it's time for the world to see that. It's time for the world to acknowledge how remarkable you are as a woman. So the first thing I did was I rose in my standards and my self-worth, and I chose to become the queen of my reality. Like, I was going to build a queendom for myself. So when I meet a man, he's going to show up like a king and no longer show up like a joker pretending to be a king in some, jumpy castle. I wanted a real man. I wanted a leader. I wanted a man that was going to hold space for me no matter what. So, and I knew that my man was a reflection of my own energy. So I healed my self-worth and I rose in my standards. That's number 1. Number 2, I rose in my queen essence. And number 3, I learned the dynamics of relationship polarity between the feminine energy and the masculine energy. And that transformed my life forever. And I have shared this exact formula with hundreds of women, if not thousands, and their love life has transformed completely because nobody teaches us how to be in a healthy relationship. We've watched our mothers, our aunts, our grandmothers have relationships, and we all know that wasn't as healthy as we'd like it to be. They accepted a lot of dysfunctionality, but we're powerful women. We have voices, we matter, and our womb matters, and our energy matters, and we can't no longer limit ourselves to please anybody else. So instead, I transformed myself, and actually today I've been married 5 years to my best friend, my lover, my leader, and my king. And that's my desire for every woman out there. I am so freaking passionate in helping women claim their thrones, put that crown on their head, and create their queendom. And I'm so freaking honored to be part of the Women's Thrive Summit. I am so grateful for Ramonda and Abigail for creating such an incredible community of powerful women coming together, sharing their message. And in my talk in the summit, I'm going to be sharing with you the 5 hidden secrets on how you can instantly transform your relationship into one of deep love, soulful intimacy, and sacred sexuality. Now, I don't want to keep you waiting till then. So I have created a beautiful gift for you. And this gift is to activate your womb and to activate your sensuality. When a woman is feeling sensual, her beauty radiates from the inside out. Her confidence opens up, her voice opens up, and also her flirtatious, playful essence opens up. So she's no longer playing in any type of victimhood, and she's no longer like in this weird, arrogant state. She kind of knows herself. She owns herself, and she claims her kingdom. So what I'm going to do is in the comments, I'm going to give you that gift. It's called a womb activation. Do it. Trust me, you're going to come and thank me later. It is life-changing. It's a short, sweet meditation that's going to open you up like a flower. You're going to blossom, and you're going to feel so delicious about yourself. You're going to feel so good about your body. You're going to feel so good about you being a woman, and you're going to start claiming yourself just by doing this meditation. And I'm going to invite you to join my Facebook group for relationships. It's called the Divine Union Academy. So in the link, just let me know that you got the link. Everybody type yes in the comments that you got the link. Get the free gift, enjoy your womb activation, and I look forward to seeing you in my talk in the Women's Thrive Summit 2024.
Yay, Nada. Oh my God, that was beautiful, powerful, inspiring, empowering. I mean, your own story is incredible. And thank you so much for sharing it. And I can so resonate with that. And I think a lot of women can, with one, from the desire point of view, being a leader, being an entrepreneur, a business owner, you want that strong energy that's going to come and match you. But also you want someone to hold that space for you to be that glowing feminine woman that you are and truly create a respectful and beautiful relationship. So thank you for being on the summit and bringing your energy here, because I love it.
Oh, thank you so much, Ramon. And thank you so much for sharing and for actually creating this magic.
Yeah, and I know it's really late out there. Where are you joining us from for the audience?
Yeah, I'm calling from Bali.
Oh, wow. What time is it out there?
It's late. It's like almost 3 a.m.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much for staying on to inspire us, and do make sure everyone watching that you get this meditation. We're definitely looking forward to that. Nada, thank you so much. Really appreciate you staying up.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, as you see, there are going to be some amazing, amazing speakers at the Women Thrive Summit. So all you have to do is head over to womenthrivesummit.com and make sure that you've registered your interest to attend. Every month we host these speaker showcase events as well as networking events. So once you are on our mailing list and you're following us on social media, you'll be notified when we have these amazing events coming up. And what a perfect opportunity to get to know our incredible speakers, connect with them. Do make sure you take some screenshots, you share on social media, tag them, or just drop into their DMs and say thank you for this inspiration. Now, this is just a snippet of what you will get to experience during the Women Thrive Summit. The Women Thrive Summit is a whole 1-week event where we have more than 50 amazing speakers from all around the world, from all paths of life, their experiences, stories, areas of expertise, anything from relationship to owning our finances in our businesses, to marketing, visibility, healing, transformation, spirituality. The topics are so wide, but that's what makes our community so brilliant, because you don't know. You may come in to our summit just to attend that one talk on one subject, but what you discover that you will want to stay on and connect with every single woman, because everyone on our stage has a powerful and inspiring story. Now, Abby, I will bring you back because I know we've got some more amazing women lined up in just a moment. But before we do, we also want to share another beautiful testimonial. But Abby, how are you feeling? What's your take on our speakers so far?
Oh my goodness, I'm feeling so energized. And I think one of the things that really hits home every time I am involved in an event like this with Women Thrive is how diverse our speakers are. and how many different ideas and experiences they bring to the table. And it just shows you that we can bring this richness of experiences and stories from all over the world, all different walks of life, and different gifts. You know, we've had some real practical advice, we've had some real spirituality, we've had real inspiration. I just love watching all of this. And I am not, you know this, I am not a night owl. I'm more a morning person, but I am feeding off the energy in this room, Ramonda.
I'm telling you, I mean, it's so magical. People ask me, how do you host a whole week's worth of summit? I mean, that's more than 50 sessions, usually around 60, 65 hours of content just like this running through. And I sometimes I host it on my own, sometimes we have co-hosts. But honestly, like watching all these women come to life, share their stories. And it's not just me that sits through the summit for 10, 15 hours a day, but actually our audience do that too, because it's that powerful, it's that transformative. And yes, it's great. You can get the replay on our website. You can sign in, and probably for $10 a month, you can access all of our content from past summits. But the real magic is being right here, right now, and having this experience and seeing everybody live, feeling the energy. This is what it's about, being here in this room right now. So that's the beautiful part of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Abby, who do we have lined up for our test? I know we got a little testimonial we wanted to share as well.
We have, and you know, it's really interesting when we look at the we were just talking about the diversity of our speakers. You know, we're very proud of the fact that actually when we are doing our speaker intake for our summit, like 20% of our speakers that we take in, a minimum of 20% of our speakers that we take in are brand new speakers. And we also have very experienced speakers as well. You know, we've had TEDx speakers, we've had professional speakers, and very often we share the testimonials of women that are stepping into this for the first time. But I thought it'd be really great to share a testimonial and a story from one of our speakers that actually has a lot of speaking experience, but she jumped at the opportunity to come in and be a part of the Women Thrive Summit on one of our past summits. So I'd really love to share with you a story and testimonial from Washington.
Hi, my name is Washington. I'm a leadership consultant, two-time TEDx speaker, TEDx coach, and speaker coach. I'm also an author, songwriter, recording artist, and adjunct professor. I use my voice to empower, encourage, and inspire others to be able to find, own, and use their voices to deliver messages on the stages and platforms that matter to them. Ramonda, she's a force, a quiet force. She later invited me to be a speaker in the Women Thrive Summit, and I said yes, and I have no regret. It was a wonderful experience. I learned that the opportunity was available not just for seasoned speakers, but also for emerging speakers. And I really love opportunities, not just for those who have made it, so to speak, but also for those who are trying to get their foot in the door as professional speakers, public speakers. I really love that about the vision for Women Thrive Summit. Being a part of the Women Thrive Summit at that time was the first virtual event that I really felt like we were there in person. The speakers foster some sort of relationship. Long before and long after the summit, we had a community, a group where we would share ideas, encouragement, good news, celebrations. To me, that stood out. It was like, come be a part of this community of women who are taking the steps to make sure that they are thriving. You really have nothing to lose, but you have so much to gain. As a speaker coach, I'm always going to encourage you to speak up, speak loudly, speak clearly, just speak. And so to be able to have a platform that's already especially curated for your voice for your message, you can't beat that. And when you think of Women Thrive Summit, you can't help but think of excellence. So if you have the opportunity to be a part of this, don't just walk, run, and take the opportunity.
Oh my goodness, that made me chuckle, Abby. Don't walk, run. Sorry, you're on mute, Abby.
I'm muted. I like to surprise you with our testimonials because you don't know what's coming up. I'm like, I'll show you this one. Yes, don't walk, run. And it's really interesting to hear, a point of view from someone that is a very experienced speaker. This stage really attracts some incredible women. All of our women are really incredible. So I thought it would be a really great idea just to showcase her and her experience coming on as an experienced speaker.
Yeah, I loved them. And the part that got cut out was that we actually met her on Clubhouse in 2020. And I heard her on stage and I said, you have to come and speak on our stage. And I loved what she was talking about. And very recently, we actually had a little catch up as well. And we just talked and she was like, how do you do it? You just been on maternity leave and you're back. Like, how are you able to do all of this? So it's wonderful. Something we haven't shared yet and something that's coming up actually. Yes, Women Thrive Summit does feel like it is in-person event because you get to foster all of these beautiful, beautiful connections and you see these inspirational women. But still, there's nothing that really beats that in-person activity and being able to hug each other and experience speakers on stage. So the details have not been fully announced yet, but I want to let you in on a little secret from behind the scenes that very soon we're going to be holding one of our in-person events, and the location for it is going to be Spain, Valencia. So if you are anywhere close by or you are keen to fly in and see some of our speakers live on stage, it is going to be happening November 18th in Valencia, Spain. This is going to be live and in-person event where you get to see some of our speakers live on stage, as well as this is going to be the official launch of the Women Thrive book. You'll get to meet some of our authors, some of our speakers, and be the first person to experience the brand new production of Thrive Talks. Now, Thrive Talks is going to be one of the incredible stages that we are building to be available globally, where we feature the women from all walks of life to empower, inspire, and motivate women all over the world on our stage. Very excited about this, and I'm looking forward to putting more and more women on stage to share their stories, because I believe that when we share our stories, we open our hearts and we can help somebody else. Abby, I know you're very excited about this project yourself.
I am really excited because I think it's an incredible opportunity, first of all, to physically be in room with women, because I love the online space. I love virtual events, but there's something really special, like you said, Ramonda, about just hugging someone, just being in that presence with someone else. We've got the most beautiful villa. I've seen the pictures and it looks gorgeous. And then the opportunity to actually speak on stage as one of our founding members of Thrive Talks. I mean, what an incredible opportunity and experience to be part of. And then to have that visibility and almost like the social proof of that as well. So, if you are looking to speak on more stages and you want to be more visible in your business and you want to go and be a speaker and be a thought leader and positioning yourself in this way, it's an incredible opportunity for you to be able to not only experience that, but also to have the evidence, so to speak. We've got an incredible production team that are going to be coming over and videoing the event. We have got photographers that are coming out. We've got community that are flying. We've got people that are flying in from America, flying in from the UK, flying in from all around the world to come to Spain. And they're all coming to come into your little area of the world, well, big area of the world, actually.
I can't believe you guys coming out to see me. I usually fly out somewhere else. But I'm excited for people who will be attending this event as well, just to experience our speakers on stage. I think that's going to be really, really magical to soak up that inspiration, because I really miss those in-person events really so much. And I'm excited about seeing women on stage.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I think there's some excitement in the comments as well for Spain. It's always a winner.
Yeah, you will get to hear much more about this event as well as the Thrive Talks production. But I just wanted to kind of give you a little insight about our roadmap of what we're doing. We get messages every week from many of you when is our next in-person event, and historically we held them in London. We plan to head out to the States, and as you've seen, the reason why I actually really started talking about it, because is going to be one of our in-house coaches, coaching women on public speaking, as she has many years of experience of putting women on TEDx stages. So we're actually developing our own signature talks called Thrive Talks, which is inspired by TEDx, but this is going to be our own production, which is going to be very, very exciting. So she's going to be our in-house coach, and potentially will be launching our events globally in the future. So that's a bit of our vision. I am that founder who continuously builds a vision and wants to share it with you. All right, let's get back to our wonderful speakers. Thanks, Abby.
Well, up next is Sarah Lloyd. So Sarah Lloyd is a cheerleader for the Divine Feminine. She's also an award-winning PR expert, author, writer, radio show host, and mum of two. We've got some amazing mums on our summit. Her mission is to teach and guide others to share their stories without fear, on their terms. Welcome, Sarah.
Oh, thank you for having me. And how do you follow that? I mean, wow.
You can follow that, Sarah Lloyd. You can follow that.
It's just such a pleasure to be here. And thank you again to Abby and Ray and all the amazing powerhouse women that are presenting tonight. Yeah, it's just like, wow, it's just a real honor to be alongside some of these amazing women. And Abby did explain a little bit about what I do. It's a long old list: award-winning PR expert, cheerleader, storyteller, dot connector, reporter, judge, author, radio show host, podcaster, mum of two. The mum of two is the most important role for me. And it was when I became a mum of two and had hit rock bottom, postnatal depression, throwing my kids into nursery after 6 months and just pretending like I didn't have them, that made me change my stars. And the reason why, I'll explain a little bit about this in a minute, but the reason I found myself on a retreat. I was away in Amsterdam in my global corporate role. I was at the top of my game. I was, hanging with the big boys. I was in amongst quite a lot of masculine energy, and I had just won an award for holding an amazing PR campaign that went out through the whole world. It was around flexible working, and it was probably 3 years before the pandemic. So I was ahead of my game then as well. Anyway, I'm digressing. Essentially, I got to a point where I realized that I had 2 small children and I was working 9 till 5, throwing them into bed, working in the evenings, and I kind of had my Fridays off. But if you're in corporate, you never have your Fridays off. So I disappeared. There was no Sarah. It was work, children, and that was kind of it. And I just got to this breaking point, which I think so many women do, and certainly I've heard stories over the years where I needed to change my stars. So I booked myself on a retreat. I went to Glastonbury. I sat in circle. I'd never done this before. Sat in circle and cried for about a week, all the tears. And it was there I realized, I basically, we were in Glastonbury Abbey. I wrote down on a piece of paper, I just want to change my life. And all the signs were there. I went off. I went and trained as a Reiki master. Thought, great, I'm going to go off and be an energy healer. But what then I found was when I started my energy healing business, I got crickets, which, you know, I'm not sure if other people get that, but I got crickets. It was like, well, clearly the universe does not want me to be a Reiki master. However, I'd been given the signals and signs that I needed to learn how to manage my energy. So it was a big part of my journey. In the meantime, I was kind of coasting along in my global role in corporate, not really enjoying it. And I was getting a lot of health problems, vertigo. I couldn't get out of bed. I was getting really bad migraines. My back gave out. So, you know, I was getting all the signs that I needed to do something about it. But what was amazing was I had a new boss, and he basically said, hey, Sarah, you know, you're too experienced to be demoted, and we've got no roles for you. So we have a choice. You can either move sideways and go and work in channel marketing, or you can kind of take voluntary redundancy. And it kind of coincided around the same time as my 40th birthday. So it felt very a pivotal time. And we were going off to Las Vegas for my 40th birthday and a belated honeymoon. And I remember getting on, we booked a flight into the Grand Canyon. And I remember getting in the air, in the helicopter, and the guy had white hair. You know, he looked like he was sort of in his 60s, and he looked like he'd been flying helicopters for years. And he was telling, you know, he said, I need to tell you this story. And we were just diving into the canyon at this point, and it was, you know, amazing. And he just said, you know, do you think I've been flying these helicopters all my life? And we'll kind of really hope so, because this could be a bit dangerous. And he then said, well, actually, I only trained and got my pilot's license only 10 years ago. And he was telling us he was like mid 50s, 60s. So he'd basically changed his stars in his 40s. And it was just the sign I needed. It was kind of, do I take the safe option and move into a sideways step in the business that I'd always known and get the safe money and all the things, or do I take the leap? And that was the moment in time where I took the leap. I mean, I've been in PR and comms for 25 years. I always thought I would stay in a corporate environment. I always thought that was what was needed, and that was what I was supposed to do. The one thing that I'm really good at is connecting the dots, getting coverage with press, helping women to find their stories. And the reason why I told you that story is I changed my stars. And the women that I sat in retreat with, crying my eyes out, quite a few of them became my clients. So I did a complete 180. I started working in wellness, spirituality, health, and with female coaches. And I think it all kind of helped with me cracking open into my divine feminine energy. I'd never really sat in my feminine. I'd never really embraced it. I'd always been very much in my masculine, trying to be successful in, you know, a corporation. But what really happened for me was a real awakening moment where I stepped into my feminine. I embraced it. I became softer. And as a result of that, I created Indigo Soul PR. Now, what that looks like is I am now designing my business around my kids, because, as I said at the very beginning, my kids are very important to me. And I mean, there's still probably a little bit of guilt there from where I had postnatal depression, and I was, you know, putting them off to nursery and not really focusing on them. But the point I'm trying to make is I realized I just needed to create this business to fit around my life and what I needed. So the best piece of advice that I actually received was from my coach, Lynn Franks, who is the PR guru who was behind London Fashion Week and was the character that AbFab was based on. And she basically said to me, you just need to kind of balance your life. And, you know, one third needs to be about you, one third needs to be about your family, and one third needs to be about your business. And all the time that those things are in balance, you'll be good. And I took away that advice, and that's basically how I now operate Indigo Soul PR. But what's even more lovely is I work with women who have taken steps like I have. They have taken the leap, become brave, and they're now sharing their stories. And, you know, as you've realized this evening, stories are what connect us, inspire us, and guide us. When we own our story, we share from our scar and not our wound. We actually come from that place of power. And gone are the days of being the damsel in distress, right? Those days are gone. The victim stuff doesn't work. And it shouldn't work. You know, you just have to look at what's happening in the media right now. I'm not going to go into that too much. I could wax lyrical on that all day long. But it's time to be the hero of our story. And I love helping women to move into that place and then share it, amplify it. Often we've created a business, product or service that's a result of those sliding door moments, just like I've just described. That moment is often pivotal in where we go next. So, you know, whilst I trained as a Reiki master, I still use energy in work in my PR. So I'll always feel into an opportunity. I'll always work with the client's energy and the seasons and their cycles. And it's basically just enabling women to inspire others through their sharing in their communities. So I've called myself Indigo Soul PR, but it's ultimately, it is PR, but it's so much more. So it's, you know, showing up and speaking, it's showing up in community, it's talking about yourself and owning your story in your WhatsApp groups. And it's also, you know, being in the media and being in the more traditional, you know, amplifying in the more traditional PR ways. I just absolutely love being part of the Women Thrive group, and being in community with other women and sitting in circle is just such a powerful place, because first of all, you can transmute your stories with your sisters. And then when you're ready, you can then share and amplify, inspire, educate, connect, guide, however you show up. It's just so powerful. And just to also just share, I am actually kicking off an amplification PR circle in October. So I invite the listeners and the viewers, if you are interested, check out my website. I think the links are all being shared, but it's amazing to meet you all, and thank you.
Yay, Sarah, well done. Thank you so much for sharing your story. You're looking wonderful today.
Oh, it's so nice to see you, Mama.
I know. Put my little one to sleep and made sure she's fed, and here I am. It's so good to be back.
Yeah.
We're perfect. So thank you so much, Sarah, for sharing this. You see, everyone has purpose and mission behind why they do what they do. Some of us have had to go through some life challenges, leave our corporate jobs, find a purpose and passion, sometimes in the most difficult situations. This is what happens when you transform your own life. You feel so passionate about sharing your own transformation and learning with others. And that is something that our next speaker has done so successfully. She has been through the ups and downs and have had to heal some wounds and had to leave her corporate career and start her new career in what she does today. So our next speaker is Carmen Benton. She's a professional speaker, best-selling author, soon to become second-time best-selling author with Women Thrive Summit. She's retired corporate executive, very successfully, mom of 3, a holistic success mentor for driven women. Her mission is to help women in leadership to ditch the guilt, the shame, and the overworking and the burnout, and guide them to finally feel fulfilled, happy, connected, without sacrificing an ounce of success. Carmen, it's good to have you here. Can't wait to hear you.
Thank you so much, Ray. It's always an honor and pleasure to be around your beautiful energy and all these amazing containers that you have created for us.
Thank you. You're looking amazing. I can't wait to hear your introduction.
So I want to start with a question for our viewers. And it's very simple. Have you or anyone that you know experienced burnout? And while you ponder on that question, I want to share with you a story of where my life is right now. Because I wake up every day completely passionate about what I do. And I almost feel like I finally made it. After many graces, as you can see, I feel like I am finally successful in a holistic way. Because every area of my life is finally thriving. You know, I wake up in the morning, fire up, because I am living my purpose. And my purpose is actually to reignite that fire in you. I realized this after connecting the dots, after coaching calls with my clients, and really trying to find out why I was so passionate about this new way of living. And it dawned on me that it was because I was able to get to that moment in the journey with them when their passion came back, when their fire came back, when that spark in their eyes came back. And that is not surprising because, believe it or not too long ago, I've lost that spark in my eye. I've lost that passion. And I was just going through the motions like a zombie kind of. And every day felt like the Groundhog Day. And I couldn't help to wonder, is this it? Is this what I got 2 engineering degrees? Is this what I got an MBA? Is this what I went all the way up in the corporate ladder and have to put up with all the things that we women have to put it in corporate America? Is this what I left my country? You know, that thought alone was really depressing. But you know what was more depressing? It was the thought, the knowingness that I was stuck in a life that I really didn't like. And I had no clue how to get out of it. Sure, I was successful in paper, but I was really miserable inside. And maybe you're here thinking, you know, Carmen, that's pretty bad. But it actually gets worse. It gets worse because I was miserably burnt out. And I had no clue this was happening to me. I had all the symptoms: physical, emotional, societal, you name it. I had daily migraines, pectic ulcers, a rash that covered my entire body. I was short-tempered. My relationships were failing. I had mood swings. I wasn't very nice to be around. And I still wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe it that I was burnt out because I had told myself so many times that in order to be successful, I had to be strong and I had to work hard. And quite frankly, I didn't have time to burn out. And this is why I really wanted to stop and ponder if perhaps you're actually experiencing some of these symptoms and you're part of the cycle and you are not acknowledging it. Because let me tell you something, burnout sneaks on you, especially if you are like me, a person who is hungry for success, a person who is driven, a person who is competitive, you know, the ones that like to thrive, right? And not everyone is lucky enough, but I am so grateful. I was lucky to have an aha moment that shook me to my core. And I realized I had to do something about it. And this is when it just came in front of me that if I didn't get my shit together, I was going to have to lose all that mattered to me. And that was my relationship with my children. So I went on a journey of healing from within. And after I came back on the other side, I made my mission to bring hope to women by sharing knowledge that speaks to the heart, because that is really what helps you create the life you want, but also truth that speaks to your soul. Because when we ignore what our soul wants to tell us, we cannot find our purpose. And I wanted to listen this very carefully, because this is perhaps the most important thing I have to say today. And no matter how far in the deep end you might be today when it comes to burnout, unfulfillment, or unhappiness, it is never too late. Some of the speakers have said it. You can create a life at 40, at 50, right? This awakening happened to me in my mid-40s. And you don't have to settle. And you don't have to just live a life that's good enough. Because I know I can get you to the other side. Victorious, passionate, fire up. Because I've done it for myself and I've done it for hundreds of clients. But it requires three things. It requires alignment between your mind, your body, and your soul. And that's what I call amplify alignment. That's how you create a life where you're fired up every day, when you can live your life intentionally and have holistic success. And I would love to invite you to my Facebook group, my community, where I pour my soul and my heart and my knowledge every week with those members of my community. And the name is in the title here. It's Living Intentionally by Carmen Benton. And you'll be able to meet amazing women. Thank you so much. And nice to see you, Abby. You're muted.
I'm muted. I thought I'd unmuted myself. Well done, Carmen.
Thank you so much.
Message about the badge of honor that we need to work hard to create success within our lives. You are a shining example of what it looks like on the other side. You are absolutely glowing today. We love to have you. I can't wait to meet you in Spain.
I know.
It's very, very exciting. Your book launch, your book will be coming out soon. So many exciting things. So excited for you and everything that you're creating in this world. Thank you so much, Carmen.
Thank you, Abby.
Okay, everyone. I just wanted to say, actually, to everyone who was watching, thank you so much for continuing to support our wonderful speakers. Thank you for the comments. We love to learn more about your aha moments, what is really coming through for you, what you were learning today, who you want to keep in touch with. We would love for you to follow all of our speakers. Go and find them, find out about their work, go and visit their websites, connect in with them on social media, and create relationships with one another. You know, this is what's so wonderful about events like this and about the online world in general, right? We get to meet really incredible women and we get to connect with incredible women. So let us know in the comments what is coming through for you and what you're learning from our speakers today. So we have another incredible speaker to introduce you to. Her name is Dawn Gadden. She is the CEO of Mind Body Counseling and Coaching. She's a licensed professional counselor. She's a yoga teacher. She's a mindset expert and self-image coach. And of course, she's an international speaker and 3-time best-selling author. Welcome, Dawn. It's great to see you.
Thank you. It's so good to be here. Always grateful for this amazing community. It's wonderful. So, all the wonderful things Abby said. So let's just jump right in here. I want to ask you, are you a heart-centered professional searching for the keys to unlock your true potential and effortlessly excel in your life's work? I'm here to guide you and support you through an extraordinary transformative journey. I'm going to give you some insights on what that kind of journey can look like. Because aren't we always up for a journey? Excitement, we want happiness, we want joy in our life. That's what we're usually going for. So I want to share a little bit of that with you today. With a practice I teach called Intensati. Intensati means mindful intention. It's a unique practice that will help you cultivate a positive self-image and ignite your inner power in here, enabling you to shift into your best self. I knew I needed that shift. My self-image needed a shift way back when I was in college. My journey began. I experienced my very first panic attack. I was in the front row of a class at a university, and I felt that trembling in my heart. I felt the shaking. If you've experienced panic attacks, you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, yes. Shaking, right? Sweating. You think you're going to have a heart attack, pass out, die. You don't know what it is. And I didn't really know what was going on until I got myself to the bathroom and I realized, Dawn, this is a panic attack. I didn't have an understanding of what was going on for me inside at that time, just that something's off. Something's wrong. This is not okay. It wasn't going to be what brings me the success I want in my life. It's not what's going to be the story that aligns with career success and getting married and having kids and living my best life. It wasn't part of the story, but all of a sudden it's here. And I had to do something with this. So I knew I needed a shift, and I needed to change and shift my thinking, how I was feeling, and the actions I was taking in my life. Constantly sitting in the thoughts of, am I good enough for this? What if I fail another class? I should just quit college. It's a lot of money. What am I doing? Nothing I'm doing is working. Get into that story of defeat. And I was feeling helpless, no confidence, exhausted. Panic attacks, insomnia. I was exhausted, pushing. And that was the action I was doing. I was in this push mode. Just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. And it's exhausting. And I knew at that moment when I was standing there in the mirror, looking at this girl in the mirror, thinking, this is not the person that's going to live her best life. This isn't the one that's going to create joy, to be successful in career, to get to graduate school. This was freshman year in college. And so I knew I needed something had to shift. And that's when I found meditation, and meditation changed it all for me. So I want you to imagine what it would feel like if you could align your heart, your body, and your mind to create that harmonious energy flowing through all aspects of your life. I use the Intensati method to activate a high frequency state within you. It's in here. Unlocking limitless possibilities of joy, happiness, and success, because that's what we're always going for, really, right? Is success. In our success is happiness. I want to be happy with all this I have in my life. So I invite you to invest in yourself, like I did that day when I had that first and last panic attack, to choose your success, choose your happiness and abundance, and discover the remarkable shifts that you can experience. Using Intensati as a practice of movement, mantras, meditation, and music. And it's a practice that has changed my life. And I want to invite you to try it out. Check it out. I have, and I'll post the link in the chat. I have a practice for you. It's 3 minutes. It's called 3-Minute Mindset Reset. And I'm serious. 3 minutes. I know everyone here has 3 minutes to nurture your heart and soul, to elevate your state, to feel good. 3 minutes to do something that will really help you step into your power. And I'll put the link in the chat. And it, like I said, it's just 3 minutes of movement, mantras, and meditation. There's an affirmation list that you can print out for yourself. I give you 16 affirmations. I have my little timer going for us. 16 affirmations you can print off and use. You don't have to kind of think about, like, Dawn, how do I go from I don't like myself to I love myself? I have it for you. You can print it off. And a 3-minute video. I have one video that gives you the instruction of what this practice looks like, and it's 4 minutes. And then the practice itself is 3 minutes. There's an audio version and a video. So I invite you to take a look at that, download it, and practice it. 3 minutes to shift into your greatest self. Because what I say often is, when we feel good, we do good. Oh, and that's good. Oh,
Here we have our newest addition to Women Thrive, our latest speaker. She's not on the schedule today, but she's here to say hello to Dawn. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. And I can't wait to get that meditation. I think we all need it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, beautiful baby.
So good to see you, Dawn. Thank you so much.
Thank you
What are you
too.
excited about for the summit?
Oh, what am I meeting so many people and just seeing people's like those aha moments pop out for people like, oh, I needed that word you just said, or I needed that statement. I needed, like, people's minds just open up when we're surrounded with others who want to lift each other. That's what I'm excited.
Amazing. Well, you surely captivated our youngest attendee for the Women Thrive Summit. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, also. This was Dawn. I want to bring back also Abby to stage to help me co-host. So, Abby, how about that? Our new speaker for the Women Thrive Summit. Do you have more space?
Yeah, I think we probably have room for one more, but it all depends on her story.
Oh, well, she got a juicy story for sure, but her mommy might need to help her communicate it.
I think so, but she's definitely dressed for the stage. She looks super cute.
We got our best outfit on today, I promise you.
Oh, Ramonda, I love the fact that you're hosting this and you're being a mama and juggling all the things. Aren't we wonderful as women? What we can do, we can put on all the hats and we can do all the things, and we can run our business empires and be mamas and live the life that we want to live, right? It's all possible.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's this motherly instinct to know when your baby needs you. She wasn't crying or anything, but I just knew she needed me. And I just went off there just to check on her. And sure enough, she just needed it. And as soon as I brought her here, she was just so interested watching everything happening.
Of course she is. She's looking at that mic and going, right, when's it my turn?
All right. I gave her the milk and she's like, not even interested in the milk. She's like, no, I just want to join the party, really. So this is Selena. So welcome her. I'm sure you're going to meet her on the summit. But Abby, I'll let you get on to hosting the summit.
Yeah, absolutely. Selena. Well, we have another amazing mama up next. I'm so excited to introduce you to Tara Antler, a very special lady. She is the co-founder of the Academy of Light with her husband, where they empower families, visionaries, leaders, and business owners to consciously create thriving, aligned, and purpose-led lives. Tara, welcome to the Women Thrive stage.
Oh, I'm so grateful to be here and seeing the baby. My heart just exploded. It just, honestly, I love it so much. I remember those days because when my husband and I took our business, we were in person primarily for 18 years. And then we had our daughter, Aria. And then I found out I was pregnant with twin boys. And my husband and I thought, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? There's no way I'm going to be able to drive down to Toronto anymore. I'm not going to be able to see clients in the same way. Like when I had Aria, I literally would be breastfeeding, and then Gabriel would take care of Aria. And then I'd go do some in-person sessions, and then I'd breastfeed again, and then do in-person sessions. But when we found out we were having twins, I was like, there's no way that's going to be working anymore. And so we transitioned everything online, which was such a beautiful gift and blessing which I'll tell you a little bit more about, but just seeing the baby, oh my gosh, I so honor you as a mama and all the mamas out there who are simultaneously growing a family and living your purpose. Because when you're living your purpose and you want to grow a family, there's this interesting crossroads moment that you get to where you go, I know that I'm here for something big and I don't want to give that up. And I'm also here to be a mama, and I want to be present as a mom, and I want to be doing all the things that come with being a mom. And I don't want to give up one for the other. And I hit that exact same crossroads moment, especially when I found out I was having twins. So for my husband and I, we joined our businesses together and we formulated the Academy of Light, which was such a powerful stance for us because we could tag team, we could support each other. And that's the number one thing when we're growing our lives, is to have that support. And so for me, that was really, really important, because as I wanted to continue to be of service and I wasn't going to sacrifice being a mom and put my purpose on the back burner, I definitely was not going to be putting the back burner of being a parent and then fully step in and continue to thrive and be of service in all the ways that I was. And so for me, it was finding this beautiful rebirth and balance. And support was number one for me, because without that support from the divine, first and foremost, every single day I was saying, Spirit Source Creator, I need you to teach through me. I need you to lead through me. I need you to parent through me. I need you to speak through me. Because when I had the twins, and of course they love to be breastfed, I had maybe 2 hours of sleep a night for 6 months. 2 hours of sleep each night for 6 months. I think most of the day I was a little delirious, walking around being like, I felt like I was living in a dream. And interestingly enough, I went so deep into the feminine, I channeled the most amazing material. We brought forward the most amazing courses. Our business completely skyrocketed in that time. I feel because I was honoring all parts of my life, where I wasn't compartmentalizing anymore, which is something I think that I did in the past. Because for me, my journey started really early on. I started meditating when I was 14. I had an English teacher who actually introduced me to meditation, and that was such a blessing. So that would be number two for me. Having that spiritual practice and meditation, absolutely essential to get the things done that I need to get done in a day. Even then, breastfeeding, 2 hours of sleep, running a business, moving everything online, moving to Mexico from Canada, then moving back to Canada. It was a whirlwind time, and having meditation as a foundational piece for me, something that I had been doing. I'm 45 now, so 14 to 45. Thank Creator that I had that already as a part of my framework. And it's something that we teach everybody, because I think that everyone could benefit from meditation, whether it be 5 minutes or 30 minutes. And so for me, I went back to my roots. I was like, I need to meditate. I need to ground. I need to spiritually connect. I couldn't just rely on my brain anymore. I couldn't just rely on being a really good entrepreneur, which I had been a great entrepreneur already. I just celebrated 21 years in business. And so for me, I could rely on the entrepreneurial ship, but I was being asked something very different. I was being asked to show up fully as a mom and fully for my purpose on this whole other level. And so having meditation as a foundational piece was so, so important. And then quickly growing into some of the practices that I've been using, well, since I was 19, when I discovered meditation and yoga and energy healing and Reiki. And I went to school, I went to university for holistic healthcare, or alternative complementary medicine, holistic healthcare. And Spirit had me moving on this fast moving train. They said, okay, you're going to be of service. You're going to see clients. It's going to be something, if you choose it, you're going to do this for the rest of your life. And I thought, okay, I'm in, I'm down, because I knew that the regular thing wasn't going to be for me. I looked at massage therapy. I looked at becoming a physiotherapist. I thought about a doctor. I thought about becoming a nurse. I thought about a teacher, and nothing was fitting for me. And so back in the late 1990s, meditation was very unheard of. Reiki was very unheard of. Some of the things that we openly talk about now, I was really stepping into a very big unknown space where I had to have a lot of faith. And that would be number three for me, having faith that everything's going to work out. I just knew everything was going to work out. And so along that journey, like, there's so many things that I'll share with you along this beautiful journey here with the Women Thrive community. But I had to test my faith a lot. I had to take a lot of leaps. I had to jump in times when it was scary. I worked for the Ministry of Health for 5 years just so that I could go back to school after university to pay for my holistic college. And I knew I got to the point where I said, I'm here for 5 years max, because I wasn't going to stay in corporate. I wasn't going to do the government route. And I got to that point where it was time to jump. I was building my business on the side. I was slowly starting my practice. And then it got to a point where that was it. I had to take the leap of faith. And when I look back to when I was 25, 26, 27, and I took leap after leap after leap after leap, not one leap did I ever regret. Not one leap of faith did I ever look back and go, oh, I wish I would have stayed there. I wish I would have stayed at the ministry, or I wish I would have stayed working for that spa where I was seeing 8 clients a day and hardly eating anything. No, I am so grateful. I am so grateful that I took every leap of faith, and it was divinely guided. And this is where spirituality is such an important part for me, because I didn't have to make all those decisions on my own. I could have thought my way through it. I could have analyzed my way through it. I could have flipped my coins. I could have, and I did, I did all of those things. But when I stripped all that away and I came back to the essence of what am I here to do? What's in the highest and best alignment? How can I serve? The answer always was given. So the next piece for me was always asking a really great question of my highest self and then listening. And then when I got that answer, when it would drop down, I would take the step. Now, sometimes it was courageous steps because I moved to California, we moved to Ireland, we moved to Mexico. We've lived in so many different countries. Meeting my husband was a whole journey in and of itself, of complete miracle. Leaps of faith, leaps of faith, leaps of faith. And all of them, when I look back and I string all of them together, it's like I've been walking a living miracle. Like it's been incredible, the pieces and how it comes together. And it doesn't mean I haven't had challenges. I have. However, when I look back at it, I see so much of the positive and so much of the light and so much of the goodness and so much of the grace and so much of the miracle that's really what I wanted to share today, was that in those moments when you fear, when you question, when you are uncertain of your path, of your purpose, of what's next, or maybe there's a big change and a big crossroads moment that you're at and you're like, what do I do? Where do I go? You can analyze if you want. You can write the pros and cons list if you want, but I guarantee you, if you sit with you and you sit with what you know, because I believe we all know truth. We all know clarity. We all know deep inside of us. Sometimes we just have to make the space. And this is where meditation comes in. Make the space, go for a walk, clear the head a little bit, come back to your center, come back to yourself. This is what my babies did for me all the time. I had to sit down and breastfeed. So I had to get into my feminine. I had to surrender. I had to listen, which was such a blessing because in those moments of stillness and in the peace and in the feminine, you hear the answer. You know what the next step is. And then that's when the courage comes, where you say, okay, if what I need is courage right now, I got to take this step and I need some courage. Ask, and it is given. Ask, okay, creator, the divine, whatever you call it. I need some courage right now. I'm going to make this big step. I'm going to take this leap. I'm going to make some change. I need some courage. I need some faith right now. And when you receive it, you ask and you receive, you get so powerfully filled up. You are filled up with everything that you need. And then you take that step. And when you can look back and go, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for every step that I took. I'm so grateful for every leap of faith. I'm so grateful for even the fear that came up because the fear pushed me to grow. I'm so grateful for the times that I felt uncertain because in that uncertainty, I became even more convicted in my truth and why I'm here. Because now I can stand in a bigger truth and I can say, I'm here for, right? And for us, we're here to lead. We are here to help people discover their purpose. We're here to help people clear all the ick and the stick is what I call it. The ick and the stick, the stuff that doesn't serve us, because I am an intuitive healer. I am a soul coach. I am a spiritual mentor, and I'm a light leader. And this is what we're here for now, is to really help other people who really want to stand in their purpose, because we need it. We need more people to stand in their purpose now because the planet's changing, ascension is happening, awakening is happening. And we want to be able to do that without sacrificing all the pieces of our life. And so if you are called and you want to learn a little bit more about who I am and you want to follow along the journey, I invite you to check out my Facebook profile, just Tara Antler. That's where I am weekly. We do a lot in there. And there's so much I can share with you between meditations and all sorts of goodness, but that's the best place to find me if you want to connect.
Tara, thank you so much for sharing your energy and your wisdom and for taking your place on the Women Thrive stage. It's been a pleasure having you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, honey. It's so great to meet you all.
Oh, it's great to see you. It's great to see you. Okay. How are we doing in the chat? How are we doing? Are we ready for one more speaker? Are we ready for one more speaker? Let's see a one in the chat. Let's see who's still with us. I see you all. I see you all commenting. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for yes, yes, yes. I'm seeing all the yeses. Okay, so our final speaker, last but definitely not least, Judy Murillo. Judy Murillo is an internationally acclaimed personal growth trainer and coach who stands as a beacon of inspiration in the realm of self-improvement. Renowned for her profound expertise, she has authored an impressive collection of 24 books, 2 of which have attained international bestseller status. The transformative volumes, You Are More Than Enough and Ignite the Spark. Judy, welcome to the stage. We love to have you. Welcome.
Thank you, Abby. It's wonderful to be here. And thank you to Ramondo as well for creating this wonderful platform. It's been a great day. I've listened to all the speakers today, and I thought they were all just absolutely wonderful. For those of you who don't know me, you've just heard I'm Judy Morio. My life's work has revolved around words that have the power to transform, to inspire, and to elevate. And over the years, I've had the privilege of crafting 24 books under my name, and each one has been a labor of love aimed at helping individuals like yourself to tap into your limitless potential. But my mission extends far beyond my own writings. I have had the privilege of ghostwriting 26 other books, allowing individuals from all walks of life to share their unique stories and their ideas with the world. And the written word is a formidable tool, one that can change lives and shape destinies. And I've been blessed to be a part of that process for so many remarkable people. And in addition to writing, I've also dedicated myself to the art of editing, ensuring that the messages of countless authors are conveyed with clarity and impact has been a fulfilling endeavor for me. After all, what good is a powerful message if it's lost in a sea of words? Editing is the art of refining, and I take pride in helping authors make their words shine. But writing and editing are just part of my story. My journey has taken me to 29 countries around the world, where I have had the privilege of speaking to audiences like you. And it's been an incredible journey, and I've learned as much from the diverse cultures and experiences as I've encountered, as I hope I've imparted through my speeches. What truly, I'm having a little trouble with my mouth working. I think it's because I'm trying to talk so fast and get through this whole thing. But what truly fuels my passion is the opportunity to mentor and guide the next generation of speakers and authors. And there's something magical about helping budding writers find their voice, refine their craft, and share their stories. It's equally gratifying to support emergent speakers as they step onto the stage with the power to inspire and influence. And that's brought me to writing 2 books to help the people that I'm working with. One is to turn your story into cash. It's writing and launching your book. It's just a guide for the 4 steps to actually writing and launching your book and getting it out there. And the other one is turn your speaking into cash, the branding and marketing your expertise. And I've tried to include everything that I learned in the 50 years of being a professional speaker in this book to help others to not have to go through a lot of the trials and tribulations that I had to go through. But now you might be wondering how you can tap into the world of words, wisdom, and empowerment. Well, I'm here to tell you that I'm not just a speaker and an author. I'm a resource for you. Whether you're a seasoned author looking for a way to sharpen your skills, an aspiring writer seeking guidance, or you're someone who wants to tell your story, your journey on television. I also have a television show on Roku on the WWDB TV channel. It's entitled What's Your Story? Again, I'm into stories. And so I love having people like you for guests on my show to talk about what your story is and to tell it to the world. So to make this journey even more accessible, I'm offering you a book writing template. It's a tool to assist you in crafting your literary masterpiece. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me at judy@judymorio.com or simply give me a call at 702-283-4567. I'm here to share what I've learned and to help you turn your dreams into reality. And in closing, I want you to know that my life's work is about inspiring and empowering individuals like you to reach their highest potential. My books, my speeches, my coaching all revolved around one central theme, and that is the power of the human spirit to achieve greatness. So remember, if you've ever dreamt of writing your own book or taking the stage as a speaker to share your message with the world, I'm here to be your guide and your mentor, helping you find inspiration and empowerment in your own journey of personal growth and personal achievement. So reach out to me, Judy at judymario.com. Thank you. Abby?
Judy!
Rhonda, nice to see you.
We're playing tag team, and here we are, all of us on stage. Judy, good to see you. 26 books. That's incredible. That's your life's work and legacy right there.
It has been a real journey, but I love to write, and whatever happens in my life becomes not only my story, it becomes a book. Every time something disastrous happens or something good happens to me, people go, "Oh, I guess there's another book coming," and there is. It's nice to be on stage with the two of you. What a powerful team you make.
Is there another book in the making right now?
Yes, there is. In fact, my You Are More Than Enough book just came out in Spanish last week. So that's pretty powerful. And I'm excited about it. And now there's going to be a follow-up that is You Are More Than You Think You Are.
Wow, beautiful. Well, we hope to see you in Spain next month or the month after.
You know what? I wanted to be in Spain so bad, but the dates that you chose, they're going to be putting my other knee. I'm going to be receiving another knee. And so I'm going to miss this time, but I'll do next time.
We hope to see you then. Judy, thank you so much. And thanks for closing the summit with incredible talk. Abby, here we are at the end. All this time just goes by so quickly.
I know, right? I was looking to make sure that we're on time, and then before we know it, we're nearly done. What have you taken away from today, Raimonda, from listening to all our incredible speakers?
There's always something I say, and it just keeps showing up in every of these events, and there's so much more that unites us than separates us. And when we look at each other's stories, and there's this feeling of comparing ourselves when we walk into a room of other women, incredible women, inspiring women. There's that comparison. But you not need to worry that you may not be enough or not good enough, or you may be here competing, because in this space, you are held safe and supported. And, as you heard all of these stories, I could relate to some extent to everybody's story. So I just want to say there's so much more that unites us and brings us together as women. And I hope that we continue on this path of supporting each other, cheerleading, being each other's biggest cheerleaders, because it doesn't cost anything, right? It does not cost anything to be there for each other. And that's what I'm really taking away. And I want to continue foster that energy where we are supporting each other as women.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel that the name of this event, Unleashing the Power of Women's Voices, has really been demonstrated so well today by our speakers and by the whole ethos of it. And I agree. When we're vulnerable and we share our stories from our heart, we can create those immediate connections with others.
Yeah. It's just something magical that happens in a room. And time again, I hear women that attend our events, virtual live, they say, I walked in and I just felt this sisterhood energy. I just felt like I knew people from before, and yet it was the first time I've met them. And that's what I hope you get to experience every time you come to our events, that sense of sisterhood and support and safety. Because let's face it, not every space is a safe space. And this is what we hope to create for women to share their voice, to feel safe to share their voice, and for people to receive healing. And I always say, be responsible with your words, because words really, really matter. Be careful with the words you choose and what you let out into this world, because they can hurt, but they can also heal. So I hope that you've learned something from today's event, and I'm getting a bit emotional. Thank you, Tiffany. I've seen you in the comments all day long. There's something I wanted to share with you. We have a new book coming out end of October, beginning of November, actually. But if you haven't got a copy of our Volume 1 Women Thrive book, make sure you grab it. Today you heard some incredible stories, but there is even more stories that are being shared really vulnerably in our book. And Volume 2 is going to be out in November 2nd, and of course our live event in November that's happening here in Valencia. So these are, again, compilation of inspiring women's stories who have overcome adversity and have taken the time to vulnerably share what they've been through and the lessons they have learned. And the representation of this picture of different faces is different experiences that you're going to have as you read these stories. So similarly, through the summit, when you join, depending where you are in your life and what you're going through, every time you listen to another woman's story, you may not resonate with it today, but it may change your life tomorrow. Because today you might not be going through the same thing and life changes. So that is what this represents, that, you know, the many different facets of life, the different phases that we go through. And sometimes you just need a different type of inspiration at a different stage of your life. So
yeah, I'm so excited to read that book. I know that there's lots of work going on behind the scenes and you're reading through it all, but yeah, it's going to be so exciting to see it published and out in the world, and you know, the incredible stories that are being shared there from the heart, and to be able to celebrate it in Spain, even more incredible, right?
yes, I'm looking forward to that. Well, I want to say thank you to all of our speakers today. It was lovely to see you all prepared with your talks. Thank you for those who stayed up late or early. Thanks to all of our attendees virtually who have tapped into this, who shared, who commented, supported, perhaps reached out to some of our speakers and celebrated them. I really, really appreciate all of you for taking the time to be here, because time is probably one of the most precious things that we have right now. And I certainly don't take it for granted. And thanks to my co-host, Abby, and our team behind the scenes who help us make this event happen. Thank you, Abby. I appreciate you being here today.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me today. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate you, Ramonda. And I'm really excited about the next one.
Yes, absolutely. We'll be back for the Women Thrive networking event. This happens first Thursday of every month. Make sure you register your interest at womenthrivesummit.com and you'll receive updates, as well as every third Thursday of every month. We have these showcase events where you get to meet our speakers. So it's just a wonderful, wonderful experience for you to get into this community. As you join our email list, you will be invited also to be part of our community, which is a free platform where you can connect with some of our speakers and former speakers and other attendees. And of course, I wanted to mention our Women Thrive magazine. So this is September's edition that I received in a post not so long ago. And a brand new October's edition is being shipped right now. So you can still subscribe for October's issue or November's issue. So this is our Women Thrive magazine. Many of the stories of women that you will find inside. This is a business publication as well as inspirational. You'll get to get more tips on lifestyle, and I'm sure there's many, many stories that you will relate. I remember when I first started my business, this is what it started me off. I used to read Success magazine, and I was like, one day I'll be that person, that successful entrepreneur who will conquer the world. So that's how my journey began. So today we get to publish women's stories, and I'm so passionate about telling women's stories that we ended up creating a virtual live stage as well as a magazine. And I just believe in celebrating women. So I hope you take away this energy and you pass it on to as many people as you can, because I think it's worthwhile. Whatever you put out in the world, always come back to you 10 times.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, any last thoughts, Abby? Look at these beautiful comments as well.
I know. It's always the same, right? We come on these things and then it's so difficult to leave. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone that's been watching and bringing your energy. You know, it's sometimes it's can be pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone to speak on a stage like this, and you give us energy and we give it back to you in return, right? So thank you for coming on and sharing your support and for your beautiful comments. And I really hope that you have taken something away today, just something to put into action, or just an idea, a shift in your mindset or your thoughts, or maybe overcoming a block that might have been standing in your way by listening to the story of others. And if you can just take that away and apply that to your life, incredible things can happen off the back of it. So thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up in your beautiful energy.
Yeah, make sure you connect. Thank you so much, Abby. Thanks everyone for being here, watching and presenting today. Make sure you connect with each other and connect with us, stay in the community, and we look forward to seeing you at a future events. Thank you. Celebrating you all. Until next time. Bye-bye for now.